What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ford Era. You got me, Solomon, here, and we are in one of my favorite shops, Fat Fender Garage, and we got Jason here. What up?
Oh, hey, you got me. Hey, yeah, we're back in the shop, and glad to have you and Solomon here. And so we're kind of in our fabrication department where we basically cut things up, weld things, and make a mess. Redo it, fix it, cut it again, make a mess, and anyways. So this is the. Do you remember that blue and white Dodger truck?
This is it?
This is it. Yeah.
Man, she is going through a lot of work.
Yeah, she's getting a facelift. So we basically stripped it all down. It wasn't as clean, if you will. If you notice, there was a lot of rust that we've been working on cleaning up, and there's little sections in the dash, a lot more on that other side. The cab mounts are completely toast on it. And anyways, basically he had a stock chassis under this. Twin I-beams, he had the drop beams under it. And then I think to get a little lower, he actually cut the springs. And so it had a little negative camber.
And with the amount of power that you added.
And the amount of power that he had, he realized that it wasn't actually as fun to drive as he had hoped. So he brings it back. We do a new chassis. He decides he wants to repaint it. And from there, here we are. So since we're doing it, he wants the bed to open up, articulate. So these guys are knocking this out, getting it cleaned up. We'll put a bed door in it, our little bed opening cantilever system that we use, and just get it raised up and get it to work. So, yeah, pretty cool. So we're getting there. Everybody knows Paul Treadwell, right? It's a square body truck. We've got the bed done on it as well. We got a little sheet metal work to finish up. We've been doing a little bit of, I can't see it on this side. On the square body, we got a little bit of finishing with some planishing and cleaning, but extending the lip. These are usually really smooth. And so we had the lip brought out to create just a little bit of a flare.
It looks really nice.
To tie it in with the front so it doesn't, not like huge fender flares by any means, but just give it a nice look. And then this is Cody's work. He's been, helping us out here. So hoping to get him back in the next couple of weeks and wrap it up, help us out.
It turned out really nice.
Yeah, it did. It turned out nice. This is take that.
This was the that chassis you had last time for the first gen?
Yeah, kind of. So this is a guy that dropped off a first gen Bronco that was a running, driving vehicle. He decided that he wanted to put a Coyote motor in it and put a new interior. And then he started thinking, well, if I do that, maybe I want to put bigger wheels on it and tires. And so now he ordered 40s. And then he started thinking, if I put 40s on it, maybe I should beef up my axles on it. And so here we are. We got Dana 80s.
So is that the trick, how to get into your shop earlier? You're like, hey, I just want a little bit of work. And then you get in the door and you're like, oh, I actually meant a lot of work.
Yeah, this has happened a few times. The problem with that is it slows the project way down because then I kind of have to reset a little bit. So that's what happened with this one over here. And this is what happened here. They're great guys, so that's what kind of books us out. Like, if people didn't make changes and all this stuff, like, we wouldn't be booked out over 2 years. We could just march through things because that's what we have on our books. That's what we got planned. But all of a sudden, I got to estimate longer because of the fact that everyone upgrade. And so then it just, what should be, a 6 to 12 month project, now we have to kind of go back. And so it starts slowing things up for people, and so we're trying to get ahead of that and plan a little bit better. But we got some custom parts that are going to be going on here, some anti-wrap axle brackets, new steering. Look at the steering on this thing. I mean, that thing
Wow.
is
Solid billet.
solid, legit. Very cool. All of a sudden, I wonder if the Coyote motor will be enough power for everything he's done here.
Slap a supercharger on, right?
Yeah, and so
That's this body?
that's this body, yes. Yeah, it didn't have a tailgate on it when he brought it in, and we're redoing the dash. But, oh, and then he wants to put 6.5 speakers in it, JBL amps, 13-inch subs, like anything you can put in this thing, it's here. Probably kitchen sink next. All right. So a lot of the stuff we do starts in fab, and then we finish. We try to run our exhaust in the fab as well, just to try to make sure everything's going to fit. This is kind of a prototype that we're doing. This will all be out of billet. There's going to be some more parts here. There's going to be some diffusers right here. These are obviously long right now. We'll cut these back once we get the actual parts in here. But these will be cut back where they're just sticking out a little bit. And then we have the big exhaust. But it wasn't easy to get it all the way back, but they figured it out.
Your guys are so good.
This is essentially, we're just wrapping some things up, and it's ready to go to the body shop. It's real close. You check out those little side mirrors we did. So those are custom carbon fiber mirrors with a new arm that we built for it. We'll actually have those up for sale here in about a week.
Where?
On our website.
Which is?
Well, yeah, I should do better promoting, right? FatFender.com, easy. And so after fab, we then roll into the body shop, where when you work at the body shop, we just take naps all the time, as you can see. Luis is the first one to jump up, but these guys, they might be on break or they might be working. We're not sure yet.
Well, I know stuff must be moving and shaking because I was here a few days ago and you had that 40-something in here.
Yeah,
Obviously now
it's painted.
she's all painted.
Yeah.
So that just happened.
Yeah, that happened on Monday. We started. So we've got the cab painted, the doors painted, the hood painted, running boards, inner fender, and they're just moving the bed into the paint booth right now, and we're gonna get going on it. The chassis, I'll show you the chassis a little bit later, but it's basically all put together. So as soon as they get done painting, probably next week we'll cut and buff the cab and finish it and prep it. That'll go on, and then we'll start wiring it up. Not a Ford, just in case everybody needs clarification. But cool C10 for a really cool customer, and we're gonna actually start prepping this here in the next few days for paint. So look at the radio, how big the radio is in the dash.
I noticed. What is that going to be, like 10 inch?
Yeah, 10.1 inch.
Wow.
Okay, so they're prepping stuff for paint in here. Anyway, so this is the bed on the 49 or 50. I think it's 49. And we put the spare tire right here. It's going to go right here. And so he wanted a spare tire because I think he's going to drive it a lot.
That's the idea, right?
And he's like, just put it underneath the bed where it originally goes. I go, there's a gas tank there. So we had to come up with something creative. And because he's got such big tires on it, it stuck up so much, so we had to sump it down into the bed and try to, lots of changes. But so this will be painted today, probably finished tomorrow. So after fab, it's painted, and we've got a truck here that they're starting to little cut and buff on it.
Of course, it's a Fat Fender.
Yes, of course it's a Fat Fender. So
I'm excited to see that you're starting to get back into Fords.
yeah, we did a lot of Chevys for a while, and we finally got a lot of Fords that are coming coming out now. So this one, we're basically just going to march right through this one and get it wrapped up. So he's cutting it. We're not going super deep on this. I think we're starting with, 1,500? Just a really, really light cut on it. We'll go to like 2,000, 3,000 and get it brought back up. But with cutting, you can start at like 600 if you wanted. Like you can, and the reason why you cut is because you can't paint perfectly show quality paint jobs. It's always going to have just the way it lays down and dries. They call it orange peel, right? And so you're always going to have that, even though it's maybe not terrible. You just can't get that show quality look. So you have to start cutting. And if you're spraying a gun, right, all that overlap, even though you can't tell, is created a wave, right? So all that overlap is thicker. And so when you start cutting it, the finer the sandpaper, the more it rolls over that, right? But if you start with like a heavier grit, like a 600, it actually cuts that. So it brings it back flat again. And then from there, you start bringing it back up. But if you're going to start with like 600 or 800, you should have plenty of clear on there because you're going to eat through it quickly. And so this one, a little bit more friendlier on the budget. If we can save some time, we'll try. But he's going to get this cut. We're going to get it undercoated, get all the inside all blacked out so we can get it on the chassis. Anyway, so a lot of work there. This is a truck. We're just prepping a couple things, making sure everything fits. This is basically a guy dropped the truck off, driving truck, had the red paint job already on it. We're going to redo the interior. He'll get bucket seats in it. It's just what we call level 1, where it's low enough that it looks cool, but we didn't mess up the bed. And so this is essentially, this is the ideal swap, in my opinion. That's the most affordable if you want and get the most bang for your dollar. If you got a truck that actually is in pretty good shape and the paint's decent and you're happy with it and you don't mind leaning against it and little scratches here and there, it's fine. It's made to be driven. Get a brand new chassis. We cleaned up the firewall. We're going to paint the firewall, and that's it. Clean this back up. We'll put it all back together on a brand new chassis, wire it up, and go. And so, in my opinion, it really is the most affordable way. Mind you, it's not.
And what would you say, like a range of people that are watching, if they're curious, like 40 to 70, 30 to 50?
So just a bare chassis without a motor is going to run you right around $25,000, $26,000. But that's your brakes, your rear end, all that kind of stuff.
Is that powder coated?
That's not powder coated,
okay.
Right? So then from there, you add powder coating, you add, so you can get up with a brand new motor and a full chassis done right around $65,000, right? But that's brand new. Everything's brand new. Coilovers, everything. You can get 14-inch, rotors on it from Willwood. So that's what you can get out of it. Then from there, you put your sheet metal on it, and that, you get your radiator in it. It's just like kind of like bolt on, and then you wire it up. So, but that includes the control pack from Ford because the new motor. That's all brand new motor. Like this is not everything we do here is just brand new. I won't sell a used motor. I don't want to be responsible for it, right? If something's no good,
so
right?
You get the warranty and everything.
You get the warranty.
Do you give any of your own warranties on anything?
So I warranty the manufacturer's parts based off what the manufacturer offers. We don't exceed that because it's usually, but if I sold someone the part and I installed it, then we'll take care of the labor side of it, and then on all the parts that we do make and sell, it's kind of hit and miss, typically 6 months, if you own the vehicle, we've done all the work on it for 6 months, like you shouldn't have any problems at all. If you do bring it back, we'll take care of it. So, but not all things break, but some do.
Yeah. Plus, you never know how far one of your customers are pushing it.
That's true. We did have a customer who asked me the other day. He said, "Hey, was there any warranty on this motor? Keep in mind, he bought a used motor and he's been driving it for 2 years, right? And I'm like, no, there's no, I'm like, what's he looking for? Anyways, he blew the motor up. And I said, so I finally got out of him. I'm like, what were you doing? He goes, well, I was racing my buddy.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I was like, all right. When it starts with, I was racing my buddy, you probably voided the warranty, because I'm guessing racing pretty hard. And he was driving like a 1-ton dually with a Coyote motor in it.
Oh, it was the red truck?
Yeah. So he's getting a new motor put in it. Anyways, so this is the chassis for the 49. So, which is actually kind of different than all the other chassis. If you notice, it's not slammed. Matter of fact, it's higher than a 49 would actually be by a few inches, because we wanted to run an actual regular tire, full size, have it look good, be comfortable, nice to drive, and use it. Oh, did you check this out? Look, we even fabricated our own hitch that hides behind the license plate. So he actually has a race car that he races down at El Mirage, like an old 39 Ford sedan, and like he races it like Y block. He's got the helmet on it. This guy is probably, tiny guy. He's but he races, and now it's a different kind of racing. Like it's a certain category. He's got a Y block, but he's taking these old Y blocks, or maybe no, it's a flathead, and they're getting like 180 miles an hour.
Whoa!
Right? Crazy.
That is pretty nuts.
But he wants to pull it with this truck and put his trailer on it and pull it with a 49 for a pickup truck. But he wants navigation in the, he wants a stereo. He wants, so we got airbags on the back of it because he's going to be pulling something. And at the end of the day, I think it'll be pretty cool. We're actually excited to finish this one. All right, we'll walk over here. So obviously assembly kind of happens over here. The guys put stuff together. This one, we had to pull the radiator out. It had the smallest crack in the weld where the tanks were welded to the core. Couldn't find it. Matter of fact, we had to pressurize it, but there was a drip, and like, where'd that come from? And so, anyways, long story short, we pressurized it, found it, welded it up, and do a little touch-up paint. So unfortunately, we had to pull that out. Anyway, so
so what all is here? Obviously, we've seen this truck a couple times, but for the guys that might not have seen it or know of it, let's give them a little refresh.
All right, so this is a 1967 Ranger. It originally was green. It came out of California, belonged to a guy that was part of the fire department. I think I still have the old license plates and stuff from on the bumpers. And so we took a Gen 2 Coyote motor, went through it, cleaned it all up, put some upgrades in it, and then added 2 Garrett mirrored twin turbos. Not really big. I'm not a super high horsepower guy. I'm more luxury performance, handles well, it does what it needs to do. Plus I wouldn't want to have 1,000, 1,500 horsepower in here. You couldn't use it, right? And so, but we do want the sounds of the turbos, and you'll have every bit of 800 horsepower out of these, and that'll be plenty. It'll be enough. But we've done some things to it where we've basically, the inspiration was like the Bullet Mustang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this kind of provided the inspiration for us. A little bit of the front grille, kind of a Mustang, little side scoops, as you can see. Right.
I just love how you incorporated so many styling cues, but it's not overdone. Like a lot of people, I remember when you started on it, everybody's like, you're putting the scoops in the side, I don't know. But it flows so well with the body lines that honestly, to me, it's one of the most tasteful things you can add to these trucks, and it really gave it more dimension.
Yeah, it was hard. We had like 4 variations that we played around with it, trying to get it. One time we had this, it came up and tied into here. but it was kind of hard, and we eventually settled on this, and it felt the best. But then we've got, it's all air ride, so it's got airbags on it, fuel cell in the back, and we added some lights for the wheels, and even this little bridge right here, inside it has a green LED light.
Really?
So at night you light that thing up, and it'll be kind of cool. Just kind of accentuates the green paint. So it's actually a green paint job, and then it'll kind of light up a little bit of green in there. So it's very dark green. Yeah. So that's essentially Fat Fender. I mean, we got a lot of other projects we're working on. We've got some cool Broncos we're getting ready to start. We actually got a 79 that we're just finishing up the design process on it, and it'll be over the top 79 Bronco, like probably the nicest one that has been built. Like the guy's pushing himself to build a super rad one. And then
Can you show them your bench seats,
yeah,
some of your parts?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. So these are some bench seats that go to a crew cab. Just basically tried to come up with something simple for the guy, but still felt period correct for kind of a 70s crew cab. And so the door panels and everything match. So I think he's coming to pick those up today.
So if somebody wants, you sell this type of stuff, they tell you the colors, what they're thinking, you come up with it, and you'll ship it to them.
Yeah, so he sent the seats to us, and we replaced, we actually took all the springs out. So anytime we do a seat here, all the old springs, they're gone. So when you sit in it, it's more comfortable, and it doesn't actually, when you hit a bump, it's not like sitting on a trampoline trying to drive your vehicle. So this is a pretty cool truck, 1975. We're just about done with it. We've got about 800 miles on it.
Maybe we do a what the truck with this sometime.
We might be able to go drive this today. Yeah, we might. He's close to having the AC back together. So, all right. So this is our parts department. This is Daniel. He helps send all your stuff out, and he's basically shipping stuff out, gathering stuff here. All these shelves have all different kinds of parts on it. And
can you give a rundown of some of them?
Yeah, we can. I mean, so essentially these are like these are parts. I think these are for like what are these? A Holly Sniper will snap in here, and then you can kind of tuck it out of the way under your dash. So it's kind of like, so we've adapted it to like the airlift and the AccuAir and stuff. But you can do a Holly Sniper, Phytech. We've made these to where you can put those in there. You have things like dome lights, door handles for different Fords, polished black. We've got oil caps and different things that you can get that are made out of billet. A lot of the Coyote swap parts that go out to people kind of all tucked through here. We have just a ton of that stuff.
And where's the best place for everybody to go see it?
Okay, here we go. So the best place to go find all that stuff is fatfender.com. Easy. So if we have it here on the shelf, it's usually shipped out the next day. There's obviously the stupid supply chain stuff that is just unbearable. You have it in stock, you've got a lot, you got stuff on order, but it doesn't matter. You still run out, and then you're still waiting. And there are things like let's just put a brake booster out there. Getting a brake booster that we'll buy 30 at a time, and it might take me 6 months to get, right? And so, but they say it's only going to be 2 months. And so it's just that. So we end up having to find a couple different places to buy stuff. But it just takes time. The supply chain's all messed up, and honestly, I don't know that it's going to get better anytime soon. I honestly don't think so. Anyways, but it's fun. A lot of.
Can we show them off that lifted den side? We walk kind of past it, and some guys are gonna be like, "Why didn't you show it?"
Oh, we can go show it off. Yeah, let's go look at it. We had a little we finished it a couple years ago, but it just started tripping a fuse with the brake lights, and we found a wire that looks like it got pinched a little bit, and so they had to pull the console out, fix it. And so, how you guys doing on this? So we had a wire that got pinched. Unfortunately, that happens. So, so we're basically putting it all back together right now. This is a 1976.
I love your door panels. So clean.
Yeah, and underneath it, it's got basically a Gen 3 Coyote with a supercharger. It's got 411 gears, hydro boost, Whipple's stage 3, I believe, and so even with the 35s and everything on it, it's quick. Oh, here you can kind of get a look at this truck here. We've got some parts we're going to 3D print that go here. That's kind of their next thing they got to do. We've got a couple ideas we want to put onto this, but other than that, I mean,
my favorite part of the shop is the boneyard. How's she looking?
The boneyard. Want to go check it out? There's a lot of junk out there. Let's see how we can sneak out there. All right, Solomon, this is the boneyard out here. We have so many projects started and prototypes done and things we're working on. These are just chassis we're not using, but I kind of like to keep them because if I ever need a part, or I need to look for something, or I need to test fit something, we have that.
Because you sell a lot of components that fit original stuff, right?
We do, yeah. A lot of that stuff, when you're trying to figure out how you're going to put everything together, you want to have something to mock it up in. This was a truck a guy dropped off. He said, "Hey, can you work on it for me?" So, well, let me think about it. I said, I think you need like a new chassis and everything. And then he's disappeared off the planet.
Oh boy.
We've called him so many times.
So what happens?
I don't know.
You just gonna hold it here until he hits you back up?
I don't know. It's actually kind of a little bit of a beater. I don't know what it's worth, but not much.
And you don't have a title.
And I don't have a title. But I know the grill's good and the hood's good and the fenders and doors are some good components on it, but that's about it for me. And then just old chassis. This is the Bronco we're going to start here soon. And we're going to blow this thing apart. We're just finishing up the rendering. And then we're going to blow this thing apart. It's not an original free-wheeler. It's just been...
Looks like it's got good bones.
It's got good bones, yeah.
I'm assuming that's pretty much what you look for in your big builds, right?
Yeah, we don't really care much about chassis and other than good sheet metal. And so this is pretty good. This is a 57 that I bought. I think they painted it with house paint. It's pretty rough. But
I remember seeing this one last time we were here.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
You're like, I don't know if I'm keeping it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it. I think I'm gonna take it and have it blasted and then just primered, and then I can use it for mock-up for a little while for different parts, because we want to build a lot of parts for the fridge trucks, and I've got a few ideas and see if I can make these a little more popular, kind of do some more parts for them for people, AC components and kits and that fit better, and
that'd be really cool.
Vents and just door handles and things like that. And so I need something to mock it up. Then after it's all said and done, we may sell it, build it. I don't know. We'll see. This is just a Gen 5 Bronco. We're just finishing up a Coyote swap in it, and then I think they're going to have us paint it.
Looks like that fits in there really nice.
It does, yeah. And so we're going to jump on this one and get it going, put a little interior into it, and drive it. So it'll be kind of fun. But that's about it. I mean, we've got a couple trucks out here. We move in and out. This is a Bronco that we finished. He's been driving for a while, He decided that he wanted power windows, so that was fun after you got door panels and everything all done and built. And then he decides he wants power windows. So we had to redo everything inside the door. And now this no longer does anything but just up and down. It's a switch. And so the hole, though, was up here. So we had to redo this top panel and got all that done. Then we're putting a new rear end housing, and because he's got the original axle underneath here, and one of the axle seals leaking, and unfortunately it had a little bit of rust around the edge, and I told him there's no way to really guarantee it's going to seal up. So we ordered a new housing, new axles, and that's our next thing, is to swap that out. And then he's got new wheels and tires. He picked something a little bit different, a little bit taller tire. And I think that's it. So this happens often where you build a truck and you're done, and then they come back later after they've had it for a little while and they have some ideas and things they want to change to it. So
could have done this way, that way. You're like, sure.
Yeah.
Here's your checkbook.
Yeah. And so anyways, I mean, it's not a ton of stuff, but again, you know, you have to order housing. That took 4 or 6 weeks to get. And so then it just kind of hangs out here while you're trying to get, you know, all these other little things done. The housing just showed up last week. We need to get this on the lift, and I got to get the shock brackets welded onto it, and then we can get it powder coated and get that swapped out. This one came in only just to change the seat. The customer that owns this truck's a really nice guy. But he's got a bad back, and I think in each of his trucks we've had to redo the seats like 3 or 4 times. That doesn't usually happen very often, but when someone has a bad back, you know, it's hard. Like, just every like little placement of your body just hurts it differently. And so we just got done shaving some foam down and changing it up a little bit for him. So that was like a one-day job. But now this is done, ready to go back to him. And then the green truck, we actually redid the whole carpet, all brand new carpet, and just kind of changed the look, kind of lightened it and brightened it up inside a little bit. You know, a couple little things, a couple little hood stops, bumpers, and you know, just a few little things as he's had it, he wanted to kind of update. And so hoping to send both those back here first next week.
And then something I'm curious about is that lower chassis happen to be my chassis, or is it similar?
So these are both 53 to 56s. You can see the running board mounts. The top one is for air, and the bottom one is for coils. And so we built a rack so we can just set these on here and roll them in and out. We've got yours actually at our upholstery shop. So Solomon,
Let the cat out of the bag.
yours is at the upholstery shop. So yeah, we got a really cool 6772 coilover, lowered as low as you can go on coils, chassis for you. And so that's just, I think we need to order a couple parts up for it.
That's what we're here for today.
Yep, get that ordered up.
Iron that out.
Yep.
And nobody that is watching this even has any idea what we're talking about.
Yeah. Let's go look, but
you guys just wait, because there's some cool stuff coming.
there's some cool stuff coming. Solomon's got some cool stuff. Let me go talk. Let's go look at the chassis real quick and kind of show you some of the things that we got since we kind of ended on chassis here. We'll take a quick peek. Okay, so these are some chassis we're doing, and they started out like the ones we just saw outside. And so then Pierce here, he'll get all the brake lines ran. Say hi, Pierce. And we'll get the coilovers installed. We'll get the motor in it. These are actually gonna be kind of cool because these are gonna be manual. And so we've got brand new Tremec transmissions. He's getting these all put together. And so we'll get these installed, bolted in. These are actually two brothers, right? One's got a 66 and one has a 70. So you got the slick and the bump, but they're both doing trucks, and these are gonna be identical trucks other than the sheet metal. It's like the components that they'll be exactly the same. So we're going to do the full exhaust system on it. Oh, and they're also supercharged. So they didn't just go, you know, so manual, supercharged. Like, these things are going to be a lot of fun. These also, we're supposed to be getting the housings back. These are actually a Curry fabricated 9-inch housing too. So like they literally built a badass chassis. Like, they really are.
So these, a lot of people are probably wondering, they can just order a full complete chassis, motor installed, like everything underneath besides sheet metal, and then you'll ship it to them and they can just put it together themselves.
Yes, that's true. And then we sell them all the like extra parts, the radiator, the AC components and kits and pedal brackets and all the little things you need to kind of finish putting it together.
I love all the little details.
A lot of little details that go into these things. So when Pierce is doing this stuff, because he does it all the time, he's pretty quick and consistent at it, so we can kind of keep the price down. A lot of guys, if they buy this and they have it bare metal, then they ship it to a shop, and the shop goes through it. They figure it all out. How are we going to do the brake lines? All right, let's order some parts up. They just buy whatever they buy, right? And when it's all said and done, they actually have twice the amount of labor into it, if not more, than we actually do. And so they end up paying. All right, guys, so our battery died, so we're basically back in business again. So basically with chassis, you're going to save a little bit of money here if you have us do it. Do it yourself. If you have to pay a shop, you'll save money, but if you're going to actually do it yourself, then you'll save money doing it yourself. So that's definitely a bonus for you if you can do it. Not everybody can bend brake lines and run fuel lines and install all that stuff. So some people like to just have it all done. Because there's a lot of work into it no matter what you're doing. Getting sheet metal and wiring it up is going to take some time. So, but anyways, with that said, that's it. That's it for the tour. I'm glad you guys came and saw us. Thanks, Solomon, for coming by. Love to see you all the time. You're a great friend. But be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Fat Fender Garage. You can also go to Facebook and find us there. We also help with admins on the F100 Coyote swap page. So if you have any questions there, sometimes I'll get in and chime in. But definitely go to our website, fatfender.com, and check out all the parts we have for sale. Fill out the inquiry for a chassis if you have any questions about them, and we'll get back to you. Thanks.
Just like Jason said, we're gonna wrap this up over here. Hope you guys enjoyed the tour. I had fun coming, checking out, seeing the progress. It's always cool when you come every couple months and you see things moving and shaking like he says they're gonna, and they actually do. So as always, if you guys can, smash that like button. It really helps us out. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support us and you want to get some cool stuff like that banner over there, I got hats, keychains, shirts, stickers, hoodies, FordEra.com, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.